Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by
This
the
is the
fans.
Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by the fans.
Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans by the fans.
All right, guys, you're watching the Frickin' Frack Show podcast for the
fans by the fans.
My man.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Man, crazy couple weeks, huh?
Crazy weekend.
Yeah, crazy kind of 48 hours. That was nuts.
Yeah, we did a lot in 48 hours, and we're definitely going to do I've been telling people a full-on episode about our first time meeting each other. And it's gonna be it's probably gonna be an hour and 20-minute episode because there's so much to talk about, man.
Yeah, man, it was such a good time. Like, I like you're right. Like, I don't want to get into it too much because we have a jam-packed episode for it. But like, what a weekend, man! What a weekend!
Insane. Some good Omaha steak, some good company, some just everything about it was insane. Sweet stock, hashtag sweet stock. Crazy.
Wild. It was okay. So the craziest part to me was I live in the weather. I live in what we consider hot. And you had a sweater on, and you were or a jacket, and you were just fine. You were just fine.
Look, man, like I'm sunburned here, but up to here. I mean, you see the difference.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm not even flexing my no muscles. I was literally showing you the difference. It was just so funny because I didn't everybody was like, oh, it's so hot. Even Trevor and Chris, was like, you're not hot, dude. I'm like, no, I'm not even breaking a sweat. Look, which by the way, yeah, I got a little sunburn. Going on.
It'll turn to a tan. My man. Be looking sharp.
I'm hoping because this one didn't turn to a tan. It's actually white, and this one's like tan. I don't know what happened there.
But the big thing, man, did Nebraska treat you well though?
Yeah. That was it was an insane experience. I'm really looking forward to the next meet.
Me too, man. So I mean, we had a 90s filled weekend, and we have a 90s filled podcast for you guys tonight. First of all, let us know where you're watching from. You know the drill by this point. Where you watching from? Is this your first time? Have you been here from the beginning? Let us know. Drop in the comments.
Shout out to Miss Andrea. She said she was at Sweet Stock. So this awesome to have a fellow Sweet Stock in the house.
Yeah, we got to come up with some names. Like O-Town has the Townies. We got to come up with Sweet Stalkers, maybe.
I just feel like, that can be interpreted different ways,
Yeah.
But dude, we have this amazing podcast. When I say amazing, because like to me, they're like, they're just like us. I don't even know their age. I'm guessing they're our age, but they they're all about the 90s, which for all those who are tuning in, that's our thing, the 90s and early 2000s, which will go back 70s, 80s, whatever. I mean, we got news to talk about like ABBA returning, that's like 70s, but it's really, really going to be a lot of fun having them on, like you said, sharing war stories and talking about different things. Shout out to Miss Alicia. Thank you so much for coming. We truly appreciate you. And shout out to everybody who's here. We absolutely appreciate all of you guys. And are you ready, man?
I'm ready, man. So this is episode 56 of the Frickin' Frack Show. We're a podcast for the fans, by the fans. With that being said, we got the hosts and creators of Back to the Best podcast, Miss Grace and Mr. David. What's happening, guys?
Hi.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Wrong one.
Wrong one, but that's okay. We'll get it later.
We get the point. Yeah.
I know how many people are back there.
There's a lot of color buttons. There. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's a lot of different color buttons, so one of them's gonna be right.
Yeah.
Hit like a blue one as soon as we get on.
The blue is this.
All right, guys, you're watching the freaking.
You see, that's like our intro. So you don't. Yeah. No, it doesn't work.
Man, we are excited to have you guys. Thank you for joining us. At the end of the day, we want to get to know you guys. We want to know your guys' story, and what better place than to do it live and then have the thousands of people rewatch this later this weekend,
Yeah.
Thanks for asking us.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is so fun. We're excited.
So I guess the first thing, where are you guys located? Where are you guys at? Where are you guys from? What's your backstory?
We are in Studio City, California right now. I'm from Central Illinois originally.
And I'm from a small town like an hour outside of Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Yeah, born and raised. Oh, yeah, because how many years have you been out here?
I moved here in 2014, and then I met Grace in 2015.
The best year of his life.
No turning back. No turning back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel like both of us love it here.
Oh, yeah. I could not see myself living back in the Midwest, I don't think, after being out here.
Yeah, it's just so different. No. They both have their great qualities.
Yeah.
But it's just such a different world out here that I feel like we both have just loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where are you guys at again?
Go ahead, Caleb.
I'm from Louisiana, man. I'm actually near New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm out in the Midwest that you speak of, except I'm in Nebraska.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw, it looks like Bridget commented about the 676. It's everything back home. It's terrible. There is flooding all over the place.
Wow, that's rough, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. Luckily, I don't know anyone who was really badly affected. I know that, like, my mom was at work and they all had to leave for the tornado evacuations. But my cousin posted a video of someone literally on a kayak just going down the like a huge freeway in the city.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. I know. I know. It's wild. Wow. The world's a little mad at us, I think.
Yeah. I live like 20 minutes from where the damage was really bad. And with this hurricane it just went through, and, it was hitting when Matt and I were at a festival in Iowa, and I had so many people saying, "Oh, you should cancel your event," and I was like, this is the first time Matt and I meet after a year and a half of doing this podcast. Yeah. And I said, what am I going to do? Stay home with no electricity and just sit there? So we went and hung out with, Shaggy, TLC and a bunch of other people.
Oh, no big deal.
Yeah,
Normal weekend.
It's all about the 90s. Sweet Stock is just, they did such a great job bringing 98 Degrees and all these different people, O-Town and LFO. I mean, everybody you would want to see in a show, basically, except for Nelly. Nelly wasn't there, but if he was there,
Nelly.
I am dipping out when Nelly comes on, though.
Oh,
I love Nelly. I love him, and I don't know what it is. He's changed so much. Like I feel like when you look back at where he started, right, with the Band-Aid and Country Grammar and all that, like to where he is now, like he's kind of transforming with the era and with the times. Yeah. Just to stay relative, maybe, is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he just on Dancing with the Stars last season?
Yeah.
I think?
With our guy AJ.
Yeah.
Sure was. And it was amazing because he just did another like country song, or it sounds like country. Actually, no, he did one Florida, Georgia again. And then he did another one like 2 weeks ago. He started promoting it. And it's amazing how someone like Nelly is going with the times and just, first of all, when Nelly is featured on anything, go ahead and crank it up, because his verse is just going to be fire. We all love the OGs, but when he released Just a Dream in 2010,
so good.
That was pivotal for me, because I was like, Nelly kills it, and then every single other feature, of course he did Cruise, and I was like, This
Love
dude
that.
just brought rap, the rap game into a country song.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I remember he like was one of Taylor Swift's like surprise guests during her 1980 tour.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Nelly, of all people,
Yeah.
Nelly. I've gotten the amazing honor of seeing Nelly twice in the last 5 years, and hoping to see him at the end of this month. But pretty sure everything's canceled. But we'll see. We'll see.
It'll happen. Eventually, it'll happen.
Yes, for the third time, it'll happen.
Yeah.
You think of that Crossroads things that CMT does, where they bring like Boys to Men and somebody from the country world and Backstreet Boys and Florida Georgia Line. I mean, is it safe to say that maybe some of that has to do with Nelly? I mean, maybe, right? Crossing it over.
See it?
There wasn't a lot of crossovers growing up, especially growing up. I can probably say there wasn't any crossovers, of like rap things like that. But you did have like All for One, who sang I Can Love You Like That and I Swear, which John Montgomery, the country singer, wrote. So you had them collaborating a few years ago, but I don't think there was much like rap and country. I'm gonna drink my beer, and then Nelly comes on like
Yeah, now like every single country awards, they always bring in some kind of crossover.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane, especially when you think about that song. Billy Ray Cyrus did "O Town Road" years ago, and I still don't get the hype, but whatever. I guess it's cool they brought it back, and it was like a #1 hit after 20 something years.
Yeah.
I mean, because you think of Over and Over, like that's the first one that I can really think of, Tim McGraw and Nelly, that really.
Oh, that's true.
Over and over again.
That's true.
Takes me back. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I want to grab my date by the hips, and I want to dance like this at the YMCA, and
Don't you mean your wife, man?
Now my wife. That's what I meant. Yeah. You get me, bro. After 56 episodes, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. I wanted to clarify it, so there wasn't some kind of newspaper ad about it.
She's watching.
Yeah, guys. So let's go ahead and talk about one thing that's truly important to us and you guys, the 90s. First of all, are you guys around the age of, let's say, like 28 to 32 years old?
Yeah,
Yes,
29.
We're both 29.
Okay, so I'm 28. Matthew is
32.
32.
That's so sad.
I know.
Oh my God.
He's really getting close to 40, guys.
He's in the lower half.
That's true. That's true. But we want to talk about something that's dear to our hearts. The 90s, man. First of all, we want to start with you guys. Tell us about your memories of growing up in the 90s.
Well, I feel like a lot of what inspires our episodes, especially when we first started, we would have conversations like that, and we would just be like, what did we love? Like, when you think of growing up, what do you think of? What comes to mind? And like immediately already things like what kind of like breakfast cereals we ate, or toys we played with, like Tamagotchis, and we talked about Beanie Babies before we started.
Yeah.
But and those were already things that we were like, okay, we need a full episode on just like candy.
Yeah, we did a whole candy one.
Because you don't even like, do you guys remember like the gum that was like the zebra gum, and that like there was like pink,
like the
oh yes.
It would last 4.5 seconds, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And you
you needed a new one all the time.
And then like the candy cigarettes.
Yes.
We got into like TV shows and movies, and like we both are obsessed with all like the Disney Channel original movies from the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
The OGs,
Johnny Tsunami, that stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Brink.
So many of the animated.
Go big or go home, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the music, we're both huge, like Britney, NSYNC, Backstreet, Spice Girls. Yeah.
So you guys are a replica of us.
Pretty much. It feels like
I guess one thing I want to ask is, which is one of the questions, what do you miss most about the 90s versus, today's world?
It was a lot simpler, wasn't it? Like everything was just simple. That you didn't need to. I mean, everything is on screens now. Like everything, and there's pluses and minuses to it. But I just remember when you were a kid, you just you didn't really overthink anything. The toys were just kind of like simple. Like there was techno was kind of advanced when you got Techno the Robot. Techno was advanced, but yeah, I think I miss the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Like nothing tried too hard.
That's true.
Even like movies, I feel like you can't make a movie like you could for the classic 90s. The soundtracks are different. It always has to have like a really popular song on the radio, not like a 90s soundtrack. There's a specific sound of the 90s, right? I don't know. That's how I feel. What do you think?
I was just talking to some people at work about just like the music, how like now it's like great to have all these streaming services where you have like access to any song ever made. But like back in the 90s, there was like whoever put out an album, then that was like the album like we all listened to.
Right.
For like
you savored the moment a bit more.
But now I feel like they all drop on Spotify. I listen for like a couple days and then I just move on to the next one.
Or even with TV.
That's so true.
You caught it at the time that it was on. It was like if you missed it, you missed it.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
You really
watching.
Staying, getting up at like 5-6 o'clock in the morning just to press record on that VCR to get the Backstreet Boys, on TRL.
Yes. You would like hope that VHS tape didn't have something else on it. Because if it did, you're taping over it.
Yep. Or going back, we got CDs, please don't scratch my CD. Handle it with care. Now everything's just like you said, just on a phone. You just tell Siri or Alexa what to do and they do it.
I guess you could like hold more things. Like you had a bunch of DVD collection. You had like a giant case full of 100 CDs. Like there was the album art on the CDs. Like I would love to take it out and read the lyrics while I was listening.
Man, I remember that. I remember reading. I remember Black and Blue was being one of the first ones I started reading because I was like, what are they saying? It sounds like really edgy. And then I was told I couldn't say some words and say some certain verses, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was just reading it.
I loved TRL. I just saw that pop up.
TRL.
I mean, that TRL is what set so many bands in motion. I was just talking to Caleb earlier today. I was going through this old J14 magazine. That's where I got all these cutouts. And we were just talking about like how I asked him, I'm like, is this corny? He goes, no, it looks like our bedrooms from the 90s, like a magazine. Kids, you know what magazines are? They're like books. Do you know what books are? You know what I mean?
I know. I used to love when I would get a magazine and it would have, you could like rip out a poster, like it was folded up into pores and you could take it out and they'd be all over.
Remember that.
Those are the best.
Tape them on up.
Yeah.
I remember NSYNC. I remember like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. Jesse McCartney used to have a lot of those, huge posters and magazines, and back then you had to pay $5 just to get that poster.
Like some of the CDs would come. Like I remember, I think it was Mandy Moore. Like her first CD had like a big poster you could unfold.
Yes,
that's true. That's right. Oh man.
You got
that's why I'm glad that like vinyls are coming back because now I like buying them because I feel like I have like the artwork again and like buying each one individually.
Yes.
It's the strangest thing because, when I go anywhere except for Nebraska, I always stop at a vinyl store, a record store. And I always pick up a used vinyl, whether it's the Beach Boys Live or, Peter Townshend, Let My Love Open the Door. I've gotten some great stuff and it's always in Atlanta. Every time I was in Atlanta, I got Eminem's, one of Eminem's 2006 records whenever he did a bunch of collabs on a vinyl. Man. It's the craziest thing, but I don't have a vinyl player. but I have a bunch of vinyls.
Yeah.
Smart, dude. It's smart.
Yeah.
It's gonna be worth. I mean, think about it. Like, think about cassette tapes, bro. You know, like the fact that you are buying and stocking up on vinyls. I mean, before the show, we were talking about Beanie Babies and other things that are collectibles. Like, these are things that our kids will have no clue about. You know,
nope. They're like, "What's a VCR?"
Serious.
Right. I feel like they would get so bored. Like if you were like, these were so fun. Like you got like we had Crazy Bones. Did you guys have Crazy Bones?
That sounds so familiar.
I met him, but no.
But they were literally just like little stones, and we would love them. And I feel like today, kids would like, light up. Does it talk to you? Can I upload it? And they wouldn't have the same kind of relation to it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's really amazing how much things have changed. And I feel like every day, things have changed. I remember a while back, I was talking to my nieces, and I tend to talk to them about the 90s, and I'm like, do you know what a stamp is? And they're like, yeah, you put it on you just put it on your hand, and you can get in clubs. And I'm like, do you know what a stamp is?
Right.
And, and it's like they have no idea like what a stamp is on an envelope. Mm-hmm. And it blows my mind.
My little cousin, we were like, they live about 45 minutes from here, and I was down playing with them, and we were like acting like someone was calling her, and she like went to pick up her imaginary phone like this instead of doing it like this. And I was like, so old now.
I know. Like apparently in school, teachers, if they ask, like if they go like put your phone away, kids don't know what this is.
That's
really,
which is crazy.
They're like, call me.
What?
Aloha?
Hold on. Let me type that in. Hold on.
It's so crazy, man. It's really sad, for me personally to see where the direction of first of all, I'm so glad things from the 90s are either coming back or they're still around. Especially these artists, guys. The artists just it is incredible. The Backstreet Boys can sell out a 52-date tour in, 2019.
Yeah.
Arenas. Like, it is crazy that, this is possible. But it makes me sad at the same time, because I think about, when it comes down to the 90s, the things I used to do as a child, like, games, and not just Nintendo 64, because, I was on that 100%. But I was also like outside, playing, pretending I was a Power Ranger, pretending I was a flight attendant, and the plane crashed, like whatever. I was so dark, but it's different now. One thing I noticed about kids in today's generation, their imagination doesn't run wild.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mine did.
Yeah.
I know. It is so true. I guess it goes back to like the simplicity of it. Like we would just go outside after dinner for hours, and it was like, come back when it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. It was like, if it's dark, you come back. We'd play Manhunt. We talked about this.
Manhunt.
Manhunt was so
I never played Manhunt.
Somebody fill me in. I don't know what that is.
I think you have like teams. Well, we played it in teams.
It's like 3, 4 teams.
Like, this is why this stuff would never fly, because you would literally just disperse into the woods. Like you would just walk into the woods, and it would literally be like one person. You would hunt for the other people. Like, so I guess that's why it's called Hunt. That's how we played it, at least. I remember
it's kind of like hide and seek.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it was called Manhunt. Like I remember if I had a colored shirt on, because I didn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's the funniest thing, because Manhunt, people used to like hide on top of houses.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, hide and seek, where I'm gonna just hide underneath you and trip you or something like that. It's like, all right, go ahead and go into, there was a boundary limit, usually it was a neighborhood, or like you guys, strangely, the forest, which I'm not about that part.
No, we would just run anywhere. It was so competitive. People did not want to be found.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So take us back to your guys' younger days. Like, what would your room look like, Grace? And then David, you do you. Like, what's hanging up? What are you listening to? What's on TV?
So I had a lot of the Rip Out posters. Like, I remember I would literally look up at them and I was like, oh my God, if I ever met this person one day. I had like Demi Lovato was up there, Backstreet Boys. We've talked about this. I was more of a Backstreet Boys than NSYNC. I love them both.
Yes.
But I love Backstreet Boys more.
Me too.
So I'd have a lot of posters on the wall. I had Beanie Babies. I had Beanie Babies in the plastic containers.
Oh, yeah.
So like
to
kept
keep
them
safe.
Yeah.
Containers. I'm trying to think what else. I definitely had a Rubik's Cube. I could literally never do it. I had those the glow in the dark stars.
I had those.
Yes.
Yep. I remember those very well.
I think they're still on the ceiling at my
at your home.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
they
pretty
still
sure
work?
they're still there. I'm gonna have to check. They're still there.
Those never come off. Yep, I bet they're still there.
Once you're away, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Just like a bunch of CDs, like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys again. I had like a puffy, like fluorescent CD case, and you'd flip it, you would see everybody in that. I mean, I just loved having a bunch of the CDs.
Yep.
Oh man.
You said you had the stars too.
I had the stars. I had like a window seat in my room whenever my family moved when I was in like 4th grade. So then I had a window seat, and under it I had like all my CDs lined up.
Yeah.
I had an insane amount of CDs. And then once like DVDs came into the world, then I would get like, I had like all my friends' DVDs lined up perfectly.
Love it.
Yeah, all like the magazine, everything on the walls.
Yeah.
Trying to think of like what else.
I know.
Oh, a lot of denim in my room, like
My man.
Ooh, interesting.
denim bedspread that had like
denim bedspread
that had like pockets in it. And then, like,
Denim Dave.
Wait. What did you put in the pockets of your bed?
Yeah.
Gotta know.
Probably socks.
yeah, I don't think
In case his feet get cold in the night.
Little me would pick up a sock out of the pocket of my bedspread. And then like the curtains had pockets in them too. I
A lot
don't know
of
why.
pockets.
Yeah.
You really like to store things.
We're learning a lot about you, David.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I've never even told that on our podcast.
I think we're gonna have to do this another time.
Yeah,
Dig a bit deeper into the pocket.
because then the pockets
Yeah.
had orange on them, so then my window seat cushion was
Yeah.
orange to match that.
Man.
That's so cool.
He said an inflatable chair. I had a pink inflatable chair.
I never had inflatable chairs ever. I don't know. I think my grandma might have thought I would have choked or something on it. But the funniest thing, one of the best memories I have of growing up is, I grew up pretty much at my grandmother's house, and she used to tell my dad, "Don't go out when the moon's out because you'll get moonstroke." And she really believed that kind of stuff. It's, if you look into the past of it, you would, it's the craziest thing. And it's like, why would you believe you'd get a stroke from looking at the moon? But the biggest memories I have was probably when I was 8 years old. It's the only time I could recall much of anything. And I remember I was in like 2nd grade, and there was Creed on the radio. There was Backstreet Boys on the radio, Britney, Christina, BB Mac. It was like the people to listen to, and still is today. I don't remember. I remember I used to have like green short shorts, with like a bitty basketball, shirt, things like that is the stuff I used to wear. Those were the times.
Yeah.
Those were the times and memories. And it's I just remember like, how Matt's back wall is. That's how mine was. I had Backstreet Boys. I had every single article of the Backstreet Boys. I remember it looked like some kind of, I guess nowadays people would say you're like obsessed or something, but I had Backstreet Boys, I had NSYNC, anything at all that had to do with boy bands was on my white wall at the time. And I remember when I was 9 years old, and it's crazy how I can recall this, but I remember I grew my first garden and I planted some beans. I planted some different things. Something happened, a storm happened, and everything blew away. And I was so crushed. I ripped up all my Backstreet Boys NSYNC from the wall because I was so hurt. That my beans and stuff, you know, my garden died from after all this kind of work, you know. And it's just the craziest thing how things come to the mind. But my childhood was really interesting with, you know, me being a man loving Backstreet Boys, you know.
Listen, they were cool. They could sing, they could dance, they had the coolest clothes, the coolest hair.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of hair, I had the hair parted down the middle
Nice.
with frosted tips. I
Nice.
mean, I'm like as brown hair as you can get. And I had the
Man.
frosted. I got school pictures of the 7th grade, and I can't believe Mom let me leave the house that way. But it's
A lot of gel, like no.
lots of gel.
Yeah.
Lots of gel. Oh yeah, all the gel. Really,
all the gel.
Yeah.
Jeez, the entire thing.
all of it. Yeah.
Show us the picture.
I will. I'll post it on my page, Bridget. I'll show you. It's crazy, Mom. I can't believe it, really, now that I think about it. But that's probably what I got picked on. So that is what it is, you know.
That could be a reason.
One of them. Let's talk about TV shows and movies, guys. I know you brought up Friends, David. Is that a cult classic for you?
Oh, I could watch Friends all day, every day, and never get tired of it.
So good.
It's so good. The reunion that they just did was incredible.
It was so good.
I cried.
I cried.
I cried.
I clapped. I cheered really hard.
It was amazing. So talking about TV shows, going back, like what's something that you couldn't miss? You know I ran home to watch TRL, and then when I would wake up before school, I'd watch Rugrats. What about you guys?
Yeah, we would definitely, in my house, we would watch Rugrats religiously. That was like the thing. We loved Boy Meets World.
Same.
Girl.
Oh God, it's so good. We loved.
Yes.
I mean, it also took place in Philly, which obviously the house isn't really.
I was gonna say it's funny because the house
Oh,
Meets World is about
It's
like
literally
2
right
houses
down the road.
from here.
No way.
Yeah,
come on.
Superior.
It's right on the same street.
Oh, I just saw someone say Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That was a big one for
Loved
me.
Ooh, Sabrina, man.
Sabrina was great.
Every Saturday morning, like even if I would go to a sleepover, I would make my mom set the VCR to record S Club 7 every Saturday morning.
Yep.
I loved Arthur. Arthur was really good.
Every day when I'm walking down the street.
The best theme song. That's what we talk about, theme songs all the time. I miss theme songs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
these shows had such good theme songs.
Back to back to back. You had one of the greatest ones ever. I consider is Zoom. Come on and Zoom.
Yes.
Come on and zoom and zoom. Oh God, I loved it. We also loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? Did you guys watch that show? It was so scary.
They brought it back, I think.
They brought it back.
Yeah.
They sure did.
Oh, yeah.
All that, the Amanda Show.
Yes.
I was also like a huge Buffy and Smallville fan.
Ooh, yeah. Smallville was my favorite.
It's so good.
It's
I
incredible.
would say I hope, but since that girl got arrested, I don't see that coming.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I mean, now they did confirm they are working on an animated series with everybody except for Allison Mack. Back on the show. But that would be really, really cool. But we I don't know if you guys saw, but they had Tom Welling come back as Clark Kent.
Yes.
And that was interesting, but it kind of ruined it. And personally for me, because I said, it was a cool little thing what he did, but I was like, He's a little old, and we met Tom. Myself and Vicky, I met Tom Welling, and I just wish that didn't happen. As cool as it was, it's been
that he had given up his powers. Like, I don't want to think of Clark from Smallville as just living a normal life on
budget cuts. That's all it was. Budget cuts.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that was cool. Growing up in the early 2000s, that was the shows that I remember most. I remember was it Toon Disney? Things like that. Of course, like Full House.
Yeah.
And it's incredible, growing up to these kind of movies and shows, because that's all I watch today.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad to say that, but there's like very few that I watch that's 10 years or so relevant today. Everything is I'd rather go watch Friends, or rather go watch The Office, which is one of our top favorite ever.
Of The Office. Oh my
goodness.
I quoted when the episode when Michael Scott's like, "It's happening, everybody stay calm." That was literally in my vows at my wedding.
Wow, come on now.
No way.
Oh, so good.
He's like, "Stay calm."
Yeah,
that was for Fire Drill.
Right? That part hard to miss. It's
such a good episode.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
It was written so well. It and everything. Stanley just really was incredible in that episode. And he's like, "You will not die, Stanley."
Oh my God. You will not die.
Got the wallet in his mouth.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, we're huge Office fans, man. It's I'm literally looking at this, as Dwight, I mean, it is right here. Like when I'm looking down, I'm looking at Dwight. Every time I'm looking down, it just gives me inspiration to just be myself,
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. But I feel like you were saying, why even today we're like, do I want to watch a show that's on now, or maybe watch one that we watched growing up? Because we've talked about this. It gives you a comfort that shows today can't really provide. And remember watching them when we were kids, or maybe you have a memory with your family or your friends, but that's something that 90s and 2000s shows and movies have. Like the soundtracks, the theme songs, they just bring you so much comfort that you could watch them over and over again.
And there's nothing like "I love you all."
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I have to tell you. I love you all. And I can. There's tears coming out my eyes already. There's nothing today that can bring me to tears from a show 20 years ago. Just from those words.
I know.
I just want to break down and cry right now. But
I know.
I think that's exactly what it is. I think both of your guys' points tie in together, because I think it meant something. There was we had a Zoom episode with a couple of the characters from Zoom, the original cast, and like we had talked about, it meant something. There was moral behind it. It moved you in a way that made you think. It made you think.
Yeah,
made you made you use your brain to do science experiments, and things didn't always go right with the Zoom experiments, and but they were fun. They were so fun to learn. And I guess now looking back, it's probably really easy, but back as a kid, it was challenging.
Yeah. I still remember I learned from Zoom that if you have something in your eye, you just pull your eyelashes out. Like I learned that from Zoom. Like you just pull your eyelashes out and shake them, and it worked.
Oh,
I know, and I watched it on Zoom.
I'm gonna try that.
I still do it to this day.
Isn't that crazy how like a TV show, is actually educational? It blows my mind, because I learned a lot from Zoom. I didn't exactly learn their language of WWW. I didn't get to get that far in learning that, but they do it so well. So shout out to them. growing up, Zoom was a very big, and I've told Caroline and Eric this, Zoom was such a big impact as a child, because that would be what I was coming home to at 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, it was coming on. And every single day I wouldn't miss an episode.
Yeah. I feel like after school, I always caught an episode of Rocket Power.
Oh,
I love Rocket Power.
Yes.
I love watching that.
We are riders.
Full of like Reese's Puffs or Apple Jacks and just sit and watch Rocket Power. Oh, is there anything better than that?
Oh, it's the best.
Oh my God.
Nope, there isn't.
It's the best.
You can tell a lot about a person by that comment right there, honestly. That's great, man. You guys are awesome. This is so much fun. So going back to The Office, we'll go with you, Grace, and then we'll ask you, David. Ladies first, of course.
Of course.
Who is your Office character? Who is your inner Office character?
Oh, my inner Office character?
Mm-hmm. Your soul animal.
I never thought about it. I thought you were thinking like your favorite one.
Mm-mm. That's two different things.
No. Well, okay. My inner who am I most like?
Yeah, your spirit animal. That's what I'm looking for. Spirit animal.
Why do I want to say Kevin? Why do I want to say Kevin?
Nice.
An accountant, right? I mean, and then you get to own a bar after that. So
I loved Kevin's one-liners, and he was super off the cuff and random all the time, but always landed, always funny. I wouldn't say Pam, because Pam, bless her heart, she was a little too straight laced for me.
I don't see Pam in you. I don't.
No. Okay, I'm gonna stick with Kevin.
Good answer. Good answer.
Kevin, I want Kevin. That's the one I'm gonna stick with. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Love it.
The chili, the pot of chili.
Have you listened to his podcast on iHeart?
No, okay. I am all caught up on Angela and Jenna's on Office.
Oh, I'm not.
That
but
one's
I haven't listened to Kevin's yet. And like
Dude, the Office Deep Dive, so good. Good.
Especially with Steve Carell going on it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Kevin started one. Jenna and Angela had one, and Kevin has a separate
one.
Or the actor who played
Kevin. Are they both rewatch podcasts?
No. So the Kevin's, or I guess whatever his real name is. Why can't I not think?
Just saying Kevin.
Brian.
Okay. Brian. Yeah. So the Office Deep Dive, they go from like everybody from like Caleb was saying, Steve Carell to like the camera people, the sound technicians.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so cool, dude. It's so cool. It's on Tuesdays on iHeart.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I gotta start that one.
I'm waiting for the kid, David's kid, to go in there and just say, suck it. I would love to hear him. I mean, it's always interesting hearing people's experience of working on sets and working, as an actor and everything. But I would just love to see, sad to say it, I would love to see an Office reunion. Okay.
So would I, bro. So would I.
I mean, I do understand where Steve Carell comes from, because he is right. Because let's talk about this real quick. Comedy Central took off Diversity Day episode off their app because due to being offensive, they have officially said they've taken it off and they're not putting it back on because there's offensiveness in the episode.
Can we agree one of the best episodes?
Oh my God.
Agree on that?
You want a cookie?
I feel like it stands out. When people think of The Office, they think of Diversity Day.
They do. I mean, it was incredible. And he's like, how about I sign it saying I helped you do something?
Yeah.
I can quote you that pretty much that entire
bad,
episode.
but so good.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Oh God.
God, I'm crying.
I love that episode so much. It's so good.
Okay, who do we know at Comedy Central? We got to get back. We got to call. Let's call them.
Hello,
Who
Comedy Central.
do we know? We got to get it back.
Do it like this. Do it like this now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
But that's the sad thing, guys. Steve Carell, they had asked him a while back, probably about 2 years, and they said, would an Office reunion or any kind of continuation happen? And he said with the original cast, it couldn't, because people are so offended today over the littlest things. I mean, you go back and you watch Diversity Day. You know, you're like, whoa, this cannot happen today. And every time we watch that, you know, I watch The Office every single night. Arrested Development and The Office are the two every single night.
So
I finished all of them, you know, a million times. I can quote you most episodes from the front to the back of it. I mean, but you know, it's the saddest thing ever, because even Arrested Development, I think that's worse than The Office when it comes to offensiveness.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you had Charlize Theron on there, you know, who played Rita.
Right.
That is, you would never have anything like that on TV ever again.
It wouldn't fly. Yeah.
Same with like I'm watching 30 Rock right now, and there's so many things in that show that I'm like, that would have gotten cut. That would have gotten cut.
I mean, you know, Parks and Rec, you know, is another one, and it's like, you know, Greg Daniels, you know, just everything he's involved with, you know, it's gonna be golden. But nowadays, you know, I remember there was an episode where the chief of the tribe came in, and he was like, you know, looking at the painting, and he's like, this is racist. And it's like, you would not, and it's like them cutting off the heads of, I think, the white Americans, I believe, or something, or maybe it's the opposite. But it's like, you would not have that today. But going back to The Office, guys, it's I would say I'm more like Michael Scott, because my dry humor is pretty much spot on Michael Scott.
I could see that, brother.
Vicky says that a lot. In fact, anybody who gets to know me, they're like, wow, you're just like Michael Scott. You know, it's so funny, man.
That makes all the sense.
See,
dude, I love that comparison. That's really good. That's really good.
What about you, man?
Let's go with David first. David, let's go with you, brother.
I don't know. Okay, confession time. I've never seen all of The Office.
Oh, shame.
This was so great.
Yeah.
Bye, David.
Nice to meet you, man.
All right. Well, what would you say
get
for
diseases from a bird?
Who you
Who am I like?
Kelly. He's most like Kelly.
Oh, is he?
There you go.
There you go. Character.
I love Mindy Kaling.
Honestly, fiance. She's super like into pop culture.
Oh, great.
Blah 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 blah.
Honestly,
oh, thank God, someone's in the same boat with me.
We have a lot of fans of the show that have never, like, we did almost like 20 minutes of an Office episode, just Caleb and I.
Yeah.
A lot of our fans just didn't get it, so it was just Caleb and I hanging out.
It's so good.
It's so good.
You should definitely get into it. Because it's like once you get past the first season, although the Diversity Day was where I was hooked. I started watching it in like 2000, I don't know, 2005, 2006, something like that. It was like season 2 or 3. And since then, honestly, there hasn't been a night and day where I'm not seeing at least 5 to 10 episodes a night. I'm not even joking about that.
Hey, Caleb, let me ask you, does it make you feel better? Like, for me, like when I watch, so I didn't get into it until it hit Netflix, and then I just binged it. But does it make you like I don't know, like feel better almost, right? Like a day's bad, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right.
There's nothing that can make me laugh like Michael Scott.
Yeah.
You know, Steve Carell's character as Michael Scott, you know, he's nothing like the character in real life. And that's what makes it so brilliant for him. And also, let's just say he was also cheated in the, you know, in all the awards.
He never got an Emmy.
Yeah.
The show did.
Oh, wow.
But Steve Carell as Michael Scott never did. It was like,
wow.
I know. It's so sad.
And it's such a, you know, he you know, everything is scripted, you know, and that's what he had said many, many times. Of course, they'd done some different takes, experiment with doing different things, but he just played that character so well. I mean, he went from, you know, he did the first season, and then he did 40-Year-Old Virgin, and they're like, oh, Steve's this huge Hollywood star now. It's huge. We're not going to get him for a second season. And to to not, I couldn't imagine not having The Office season 1, throughout the end. If we only got one season, I really don't know what kind of person I'd be today.
Right.
It's that good. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it just stands the test of time. We say it about a lot of things from back then, but it's just like I liked Community, and I didn't get into Community until it hit Netflix, and I love that show too.
Perfect.
Abed,
Perfect,
I love
man.
Abed, bro. I love Abed. Abed in the morning.
Oh my goodness, man. My favorite thing about Parks and Rec is treat yourself for 2011.
Yes.
Treat yourself. You want a new coat?
I am
Treat
excited
yourself.
for the new Park Direct Watch podcast they announced today.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. I mean, I'm really just waiting around to see what Greg. I think he might have something, but I'm really just waiting around to see what Greg Daniels does next for NBC.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has anything going, but like, I really just wish they would do something like it just felt like, okay, The Office was over, Parks and Rec is still here. And now it's just like, Parks and Rec has been off for probably 4 or 5 years now. And it's like, I need something next, Greg.
yeah.
I did like, what did he do on Amazon? Upload? Did you guys watch
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I do. Yes.
No.
Yes.
I really liked that.
I liked it.
I liked it because it has Stephen Amell's cousin, Robbie Amell. I'm a huge Stephen Amell fan, dude.
Come
And
on.
we were talking about Smallville. I feel like Smallville spawned some of my favorite
It
TV
did.
shows.
Arrow.
I
Flash.
love it. Bro, are you an Arrow fan?
I watched it all.
Now you can be trusted. Now you can.
All
I
right.
was a little hurt a little bit about The Office.
Welcome back, David. We
Welcome
missed
back.
you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, it was great.
I really do agree with you, man. Smallville really did spawn not just like superhero stuff, but it really proved that you can just go on and on and on with a show and for many, many seasons again, because, for a while it was like, everything was getting like Disney. Disney has like a 3 season per series order. I believe maybe it's 4 now, but and hopefully with Disney Plus that changes, because I don't know if you guys watch High School Musical, the series.
Yeah.
But where me and Vicky are huge fans of that. Wasn't too happy with the finale, but whatever. It was just so poorly done. You could tell they really were rushing with COVID and all. It just didn't make any sense. But that show, I hope it doesn't end for season 3.
Oh,
Yes.
All right, guys, we have about 8 minutes left, and we won't hold you for too much longer, but I want to know your guys' story. Okay. How did you guys meet? Why the podcast? How did that come about? And then, we'll pick up something from there. But yeah, how'd you guys meet?
So it's the story that David doesn't remember, but now he remembers.
Okay. All right.
We love it.
So we both used to work at Warner Brothers. We were tour guides at Warner Brothers Studios.
Mhm.
And I had worked there a couple months. And one thing that you would do is you would also work on the talk shows on the lot. So Ellen was on the lot and Conan. The Real came a little bit after, I think. I don't know if it was at that time. But I was working on Conan, and we were just waiting for the audience to load in, waiting to essentially start. We were in the commissary, and there was only maybe 10 people that would go to work on the shows at each time
it was a pretty
about
small
that.
crew.
So you knew who was there. And I remember seeing there was someone I didn't know. And it was little David sitting in a chair.
Little David.
No. Look at him. He's so cute. And I remember I walked up to him, and I just remember introducing myself because everyone else was chatting and he was new. He didn't know anybody. He has no memory of it.
I don't remember this.
He remembers none. But I'm not making
In my defense,
I tell the same story every time.
In
so
my
I
defense,
promise
she
it happened.
She did stick to that story, so
That's
I think it's
it
true.
did happen. It did.
There's like 50 to 60 tour guides at Warner Brothers, so it was an overwhelming first day of meeting a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it did all kind of just blend together. But we did become friends then slowly after.
Yes. Yes.
Slowly after. I like that.
Mhm.
I like that.
It was a slow build.
It was a slow build, but we got there. And then the podcast, it was just we like would just always, because there was the break room, and so we would always just be talking about like Disney Channel movies or whatever.
Yeah.
And then one night, I think I texted Grace.
Yep, you did.
And I was just like, what if we just did a podcast about everything
Wow.
we talk about?
Yeah.
Wow.
This sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. That's crazy, man. That's a beautiful love story, man.
No.
Oh.
Oh, that's great, man. That's how the best friendships form, just out of nowhere. It's awesome.
Yeah. We just clicked, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was
So how far in on your guys' podcast are you? I noticed that you guys are doing well. I mean, how far in are you?
Yeah, so we've been doing it for about 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
until like we were pretty much just doing like just episodes with just the two of us until COVID hit. And then in the pandemic, when everyone learned how to Zoom, we just started.
And we also had a lot more time on our hands, so we could focus on it as if it was like a full-time job.
Yeah.
Man, it is a full-time job. It is.
It is. And so then we started having more guests on, which was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I guess what we would love to know is who was your favorite guest that you guys had on?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so difficult.
Okay. We're picking favorites.
Don't worry. They won't see this one. Go ahead.
The first one that we like genuinely like freaked out about is, like I said, we would watch S Club 7 all the time.
Yes.
And we had reached out to Jo from S Club 7, and she replied like right away that she was down to do it. And then freaked out.
And
And then,
I feel like Chessie is a really good one. We had Lisa Ann Walter on, who played Chessie in The Parent Trap.
Wow.
That one we just were really, really excited about.
For the week that they did the big Parent Trap reunions, that was really
Yeah.
cool because like she was like just ready to talk about anything.
But we are genuinely excited for everybody. I mean, we're not just saying that. We, like you guys know, it means a lot. You all of a sudden are talking. Even if it was a writer who was on the show, that's awesome. You get to hear how they came up with scripts and how they decided on characters.
Yeah, like we both loved the Brady Bunch movie and the Brady Bunch sequel, and we had the writer of both of those on.
Yeah, so
and
we
like
just get to pick their brains.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's fun.
Those are some of the best episodes. Like Caleb and I talk about it all the time. I want to know the behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
And we don't want the same interview over and over. I hate that. That's not what we want. we want like tell me something you don't know, you know?
And then we had two of the actresses from the Rugrats. We had Dee Dee Pickles and the voice of Angelica Pickles.
Yeah.
And that was so interesting hearing how the animation process works, because it's different. I mean, they often didn't even interact.
That's right.
Babies. It was just, I don't know. So that's really interesting too, to kind of break it up like that. Yeah.
And the way it's now with the new show, it's pretty insane. I watched a few episodes, and I mean, I love it. I think it still has the heart that the original one does, but everyone is so bothered by the animation.
I know.
Yeah. But like we had the actress who played Angelica, Cheryl Chase, telling us that like that was a big thing, but she was saying, they're making it for kids today who are used to these like 3D Pixar animations. So that's like
they have to attract to that audience.
Yep.
And that's a good change. That's going with the times, but keeping the heart and the characters the same. I just remember watching the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I was just like, it's just so similar to the OG. The voices, and I think if I'm not mistaken, Tommy, the original voice, passed away a few years ago, but it was just everything felt the same from my childhood.
Right.
And that was just one of the coolest things ever,
Yeah,
I know.
it is really cool.
It's the best. Yeah.
I think the same thing happened with Ninja Turtles, right? Like people were up in arms about the new Ninja Turtles and how it was animated, but you have to find a way to attract new and old people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like they do meet audiences, because we're happy to hear the voices that are the same. But then the kids today need something to bring them in because they didn't grow up with it like we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what's wrong with this? Why does it look 360p quality.
Yeah, what is this? Yeah,
I
like
know.
my niece and nephew would be like, what
What
the heck?
is that?
No, it's the craziest thing because we started this podcast a year and a half ago, and basically how Matt and I met, it was all about, he had said he had made this post in the Backstreet Boy group, and I remember messaging him and saying, hey, it's so cool to see another guy in this 30,000 person group.
Yeah.
And basically we were talking about just the stuff that we like and different things. And so eventually we were like, we should start a podcast about boy bands and 90s. And that was specifically what we wanted originally. And, we kind of evolved and put some 2000s in it because we always go to the 2000s every episode. So we ended up, starting this podcast during the pandemic. Like it was 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks after we decided to start one was when the world shut down.
Yes, sir.
So we were like, well, now's the perfect time because I'm stuck at home. You're stuck at home. Let's go ahead and just do this. And it's been 56 episodes. And on our like close to 30 episodes, we asked Leanne, who was Brian Littrell's wife, to come on. And that was a start to where things just took off like crazy.
We did see that one.
Yeah.
When he pops in.
It was insane. It was insane. And it's unbelievable the people we had on. I don't think we can choose a favorite because we have had so many people that we loved and love as kids and grown-ups today. It's like, our dreams are coming true with the people we're having on the show. And it's so relevant to all of us. It's a beautiful thing. And like I said, 55 episodes. Matt and I finally got to meet. We went and do Sweet Stock and had a crazy 48 hours together.
That's
Great.
I think it's humbling. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words, but I think humbling is the right kind of direction to head because we get so caught up in our lives. It's such a fast-paced world now. As you said from the beginning, Grace, like that was a easier, more simple time. And I think what keeps us going is we started it for the people, right? Yeah, because we wanted to give people something to look forward to. But the way it's transformed is we do it for us. And that's how you can feel the passion. And in the episode, you can see it. Like we love this because the people we have on are who Caleb and I choose. There's one guest where Caleb's absolutely over the moon. Then there's a guest where I'm absolutely over the moon. And then there's 50 of them where we're like, dude, this is awesome. Both,
It's incredible, guys. I think you guys and us are just extremely lucky to have a platform and to kind of not just bring the fans people, but also make your own dreams come true with having the ability to have the people we do. And it's been a beautiful ride, and we're going to continue going probably for the rest of our lives, may as well, it's like Fast and the Furious, except for we know, when to stop or, things like that. Hey, I can't hate on anything that makes hundreds of millions of dollars every movie, but I can. I watched like 20 minutes of the new one the other night. And I said, all right, buddy, I'm done.
Freaking frack, go to space. Yeah.
You think they're going to believe that we up here, man? And, they got diving suits on.
We'll come to space too. Okay.
Fine. Twist our arm. We'll be there.
Shotgun. Called it. Shotgun.
Never mind. We're not going.
You don't want to go.
Let's talk about music real quick before we let you guys go. It wouldn't be a freaking frack episode without it. You said you're a Backstreet Boy fan. I'm guessing David was an NSYNC fan.
NSYNC was my first concert when I was probably way too young to be going to concerts.
What's the most recent concert you guys have been to from Backstreet or NSYNC? Let's do that.
I think it was 2017. I called in, and I like never call into like the radio station, but I called in and won tickets to Wango Tango in LA.
Oh, bro.
Was the closing act that night.
Oh,
So that's the only time I've seen that. It was incredible.
Wango Tango was incredible that year.
Yes,
In Sync was the last one I saw. It was a friend's birthday. It was a lot of years ago. I haven't seen them in a long time, but I went to one of their concerts for my friend's birthday. I do love it. I just
So do I.
Backstreet Boys. I had the concert on VHS. I would watch it and I would kiss the screen because I loved them. Okay, I loved Brian. I loved Nick. I loved them all, but they were my favorites.
Frickin' frack.
Yep. It's so true, guys. Backstreet Boys is really our definite favorite. But now, I guess because our podcast has gotten all these different groups on, it kind of makes us reconsider, because it's like, we've gotten to know these guys personally, a lot of different artists. And sometimes I wonder, is there someone greater to me than the Backstreet Boys, and but you know what? Backstreet Boys has been doing their thing for 28 years now, nonstop. Kevin left the group for 6-7 years, but besides that, they have been nonstop. DNA came out, 52 dates sold out. The Residency, sold out in seconds for the first one they done. That was the first time I ever got to see Backstreet. Was went to the Residency on the first week it opened with Vicky, and I can never forget it. Right on the catwalk, high-fiving, fist bumping. The girls are all angry because I'm not VIP and I'm in the front. I didn't wear, like I told her, I didn't wear heels. It's not my fault. You know, and
gotta be quicker than that. You gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah, man. Beautiful though. Beautiful, wonderful memories. Since then, we've seen the Backstreet Boys 4 or 5 times in the last 3 years or 4 years, and
they're coming to LA. Their concert got delayed. I think they're at the Hollywood Bowl in May or June. We gotta go.
You have to. You have to. It's an experience like no other.
DNA is in. DNA will blow your mind.
Yeah,
it will blow your mind.
I've got an idea. Okay, so Caleb and I are going down to the Vegas Christmas shows, but why don't you guys come to the Houston concert where a bunch of us freaking frackers are meeting? I don't remember the rescheduled date. But why don't you guys come to the Houston show? We'll email you or send you over the date.
Yeah.
And we can do like an ultimate podcast in person.
So fun.
That'd be so much fun.
We could fangirl with each other.
Yeah, it'd be so much fun.
We'll just be a bunch of fangirls.
Let's go.
We will definitely show up and show out because when it comes to Backstreet Boys, we kind of lose our minds.
Yeah,
we really do. And this event we did recently last weekend, we were a bit more professional, but we were losing our minds.
Yep.
Inside.
Yeah, we went to this meet and greet with Kimberly J. Brown from Halloween Town.
Oh.
It was the first real podcast thing where we went and actually met somebody.
Yeah.
We got up there and Grace just lost all her cool and just started talking a mile a minute.
I remember what I said.
She was like, "We're so nervous to meet you. We're your biggest fans."
I was like, "We love you so much. We love Halloween." It was word vomit.
She was so nice. You could tell she genuinely appreciated it.
Oh, did you say, "Oh, I love Halloween Town 1. I love Halloween 2." Didn't like 3.
Yeah.
Don't get us started on the 4th
We don't even
one.
talk about it.
Was it the 4th one where they recasted her? Without even telling her.
Girl.
No, Sarah Paxton. We love Sarah Paxton. But
Sure.
Marnie, she should not have been there.
No, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kimberly wasn't even consulted. They didn't even tell her.
They never even asked her.
Said on some YouTube Q&A.
Yeah, they completely recast her.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
That's crazy, man.
It's
That's
awful.
But hey, this will be the last topic we'll talk to y'all about because we don't want to keep you too long. But
Sorry, we talked.
when
We love it. We love it.
but when it comes down to it, would you guys like to see a Halloween Town continuation, or would a reboot be something that you would guys be open to, where Kimberly J. Brown as Marnie comes back and she's the mother?
Yeah.
Good question.
I personally always like the continuation with like where the actors come back.
Yep.
I don't know if I would care about a reboot with like a new cast. Like,
no, I would
like
definitely. I mean, God, 4 didn't go well. We definitely don't
They
want.
never did another one.
No. Yeah, I think it would definitely have to be the same cast.
Because like Fuller House, as cheesy as it was, I still watched it all.
So did I.
You want to see them. Yeah, you want to see how they are, like where their characters went.
Totally. Would love to see what Mary Kate and Ashley were doing, but
Yeah. Yeah. I agree there.
At least they weren't replaced.
No.
That's true.
Oh, we love Mary Kate and Ashley.
I know.
Me too. Shout out to those movies. Let's see, what's the craziest one? Not License to Drive. That's James Bond.
Sweet 16, no.
Sweet 16, right? I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
That and Billboard Dad.
License.
Billboard Dad.
Love Billboard Dad. Holiday. Are sealed.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, double.
Double Toil and Trouble.
It's time to watch that again.
The best. The best, the scariest. I do have another question, because like it seems like a lot of people forgot this character, but do you guys remember Ernest Varney?
Yes.
Yes. Like
Ernest.
Movies.
Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Halloween.
I thought you meant from a Mary Kate and Ashley movie, and I was
no. This is one that's forgotten by many, and it's so sad because Ernest Halloween was like, because I remember you just said it was like the scariest for Double Trouble. Ernest Halloween scared me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the monster drinking milk and everything. But Ernest Varney, man, Ernest Goes to School, Ernest in the Army now. Like there's so many Ernest movies.
What's your favorite, Caleb?
I loved Ernest Halloween because it was just so, I mean, as a kid, I was just scared, like I was terrified. But Ernest Goes to School was great, but I mean I was the biggest Ernest fan ever. I had everything, every single one of them on VHS, and then to find out that he was a voice in Toy Story, it was just like, hey Woody.
Oh,
I forgot, like, now that you say that, like, they're all coming back to me, but I, like, hadn't thought about the Ernest movies, and I don't even know how long.
I mean, it's, Jim Varney. I mean, the legend, the American. I mean, he's just, it was, I don't know. My dad introduced me to him, and I was probably, I was really young, 6 to 8 years old at least. And I just remember like watching them over and over and over. I mean, Ernest Goes to Jail when he's got a double and he's like, the other guy's just like nothing like Ernest, but it's the same everything, same clothes, the what is it, the denim sweater, the denim jacket.
Yes.
I mean,
Denim David. Denim David.
There you go, man.
My pockets and my best friend.
But I do encourage you guys, watch those, like, because that'll bring you guys back.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's so stupid, and it's meant to be. It's not something that Rotten Tomatoes is supposed to be a 90%. It's meant to be a 5%, 8%, 3.5%. But it's just so stupid and just so funny.
All right, guys. Last question here. Being in this for 3 years now, right? You guys said you guys have gone over 3 years.
Yeah.
Looking back on it when you guys first started, what's some advice that you would give your guys' self, your podcast self?
Ooh.
Maybe to have the first episode we ever had a guest on, we had these microphones that came with stands, and we thought the stands were really cool. But they kept the microphones were like miles away from us.
Like our first interview,
echoing everywhere.
Yeah, learn how to use the equipment before you book your first guest.
Yeah.
Which luckily it was just like a friend of mine. It was a friend of
ours.
Yeah, so just a little practice.
That's wrong.
Yeah, because I'd like to think we haven't changed. Like I think we still. the
Yeah.
content wise, like we still have the same passion for it.
We
that
do,
did.
yeah.
So it's really just the equipment.
Yeah,
Feel a little bit better at the beginning.
Yeah, we were just so excited to be doing it that we
I
were like, let's
know.
just go.
Yeah, we just went right into it. Yeah.
That's how it is with us. We get very excited, and usually we have our mics and our processors, but like everything stays the same now. So usually our equipment is no longer the issue, but and like you guys said, for us too, our passion has never changed. It's always been let's do this every single week. It's Friday nights or Saturday nights is what we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing because we've had a lot of people here tonight, and we didn't get to chat with them much, but we do want to say how much we love each and every one of you who are in here. And these guys, they love you just as much.
So what's next for you guys? What's next for the Back to the Best podcast?
We have one interview. Do you care if we say who it is?
Oh,
We have.
I don't think so.
She's like, who?
We're excited in like a week or two. We're interviewing the actress who played the mom in Princess Diaries, Anne Hathaway.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very well,
Attaboy.
man. Good
Attaboy.
job.
That should be fun.
That's gonna be a really fun one.
I think we have someone. Well, we can't say it yet, but we do have someone from Princess Diaries.
Oh,
Who
nice.
is very crucial to. We'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But very crucial to our memories of Princess Diaries.
Okay.
Not Anne Hathaway, so yeah.
Yeah, just a little crucial. Anne Hathaway.
I wish.
Yeah.
Annie. It
Well,
is by Annie now.
Yeah.
Annie Hathaway.
We're like that. And
We're tight. We're tight.
yeah, we go like that. Thank you for taking the time to spend this Friday night with us. We'll share this and we'll let people know where to find you. We can't thank you guys enough. This is great, man. This is just a hangout session.
So much fun.
Yeah. Thank you for thinking of us. We've loved this.
Yeah.
We could sit and talk about this all day.
It's blowing my mind that it's been an
Us
hour
too.
and
I
16
know.
minutes.
It feels like it's only been like 20, 22 minutes, and
I know.
it's so crazy to see times 4, times 5 almost. It's pretty insane, but we really do love you guys. We love your podcast. I've watched a couple episodes, and I watched the Parent Trap episode. That's the one that I do remember. I was like, yeah, these guys should be on the show because it's we're the same, and it's there's so much more coming for both our shows, and we're just super excited for you guys, and we're super excited about watching Princess Diaries episode too.
Yeah. Oh. Well, congrats to you guys as
Yeah,
well. We love your show.
Hopefully
yeah.
we then.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
We will definitely be seeing you guys in the future. We've made some crazy things happen, and that is not anything far-fetched to say. We'll definitely be making a trip or just meeting up somehow in some way.
Yeah. We love
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Go check out Back to the Best podcast with Grace and David. This has been episode 56. This is a podcast for the fans, by the fans. Peace.
Yo! It's the Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by
This
the
is the
fans.
Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans.
Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans.
All right, guys, you're watching the Frickin' Frack Show podcast for the
For the fans, by the fans.
Love you.